Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Shelf Board Game Reviews. This video is part of a series for Too Many Bones, and this video itself we're going to do some sample gameplay for the game. Now I'm not going to play an entire game because my plan is to play with 2 Gearlocs, which means it'll be about a 2-hour video. Actually probably longer because I'm going to do a whole bunch of talking, explain to you what's going on, because I'm trying to give you a rough idea of actually how the game plays. So I'm not going to play an entire game because I don't think anybody wants to watch a 2.5-hour video of me just going wah 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 wah. Or well, maybe you do. If you do, leave it in the comments, let me know, and I can add another video to the series. But my idea with this video is just to show you some really good gameplay for the game, so you can see exactly how Too Many Bones plays, see if it's a game that you're going to enjoy, see if it's a game that you want to add to your collection. So going to make this kind of quick because again I want to keep this under an hour, so I may gloss over a few things, and again I do have a full tutorial video which should cover how to play the game itself. And between the tutorial video and this gameplay video you're going to have a really good idea of exactly how Too Many Bones plays. Now since this is just an instructional sample gameplay video, I am going to kind of wimp out. I'm going to pick Nom as our bad guy. We all know that Nom is much maligned, he's kind of a wimp, and he's basically the tutorial learning guy. And when you're learning how to play the game, fight Nom because you'll beat him and you'll feel much better about yourself. Don't go after the tougher guys because they're going to kick your butt and you're going to go, wow, this game is kind of hard. Have fun, kick Nom's butt, and enjoy the game. So having said that, we're just going to go ahead and do a quick overview of how the setup is going to play. The first thing you want to do is after you pick your Tyrant, and hey, we got Nom because we're going to pick on the weakest little guy. I guess weak is a hard word for me today, but we're going to pick on the weakest little Tyrant. So the first thing you want to do is you want to look at the back of Nom. This is going to tell you everything that's going to happen when you fight Nom. It's going to give you what his special die does when you're going to roll it, because every time Nom activates, he's going to roll a special Tyrant die. It's also going to tell you about the special abilities he has, such as the fact that he has very thick skin, and secret tactic right here, his weakness is poison. If you have somebody do poison, Nom can be a very easy fight. If you don't have anybody who can do poison, Nom can actually be kind of challenging. So the next thing we need to see down here is that we're going to see exactly how many progress points we need before we can challenge Nom, and then we're going to see how many days it's going to take before we have lost the game because we've taken too much time to defeat Nom. So we need to see that we need 6 progress points, and we have to defeat Nom by the 8th day. So the next thing we're going to see is that we need to start gathering up a certain kind of baddies that Nom will have as part of the fight. So the things that we're going to have to fight when we have Nom as our Tyrant is we're going to have trolls, we will have orcs, and we will also have dragonkin, or scaled, or well, dragonkin, that's what I call them. So we see that, so let's at the bottom of the card, we see that we have these 3 different kind of baddies. We're going to make our level 1, our level 5, and our level 20 baddie stacks involving these different kinds of baddies. And let me shuffle these back in randomly because I made a nice perfect stack, and we'll do a split. That way it looks nice and official. So now we figure exactly how Nom is going to play. We're going to put Nom off to the side here, and we will put his baddie token there with him. So, but before we do that, let's have a quick look at Nom. We'll see that he has 6 hit points. He has a 2 initiative. He's super duper slow. He does have the ability that he can actually move pretty darn well across the battlefield. He doesn't have a lot of attack, doesn't have a lot of defense. His big thing is just his thick skin, which makes him really, really hard to defeat. So we don't need to worry about that. Let's put that off to the side with the die and put that over to the side. Next thing we'll need to do is we'll need to gather the special card that goes with all of our encounters when we're fighting against Nom. This is going to be shuffled into the adventure deck, and speaking of the adventure deck, let's go ahead and grab this. So the game does come with 2 adventure decks. You have the solo and the 2 or more Gearloc adventure deck. We're playing with 2 Gearlocs. We're going to play with Picket and Patches. Now normally we don't pick our Gearlocs yet, but I'm doing this in advance because I'm trying to make this simpler. So we're going to take the adventure deck for a 2 or more Gearlocs. We will shuffle it up. And since we know this is an 8-day type of encounter, and since we're playing with the base game, that means it does come with a 3 starting encounters. We know that we need to pick 5 of these cards, and we now have 5 adventure cards. We're not looking at them because we don't want to ruin any of the surprises. We'll take these 5 adventure cards without looking at them, add in non-special card, and then we'll shuffle them in a way where we can't see. So I look really coolly at the camera and just kind of do a side profile, another side profile. This is me stalling, so I'm not looking at the card. And then without looking, we'll add in the 3 special set encounters for day 1, day 2, and day 3 on top of those. And if you want to, then you can add in this adventure cover so it doesn't spoil any of the surprises for you. After that, we're going to set the day cycle to first day because we're going to count to the first day. We'll need to shuffle the Trove Loot. I'm just going to already shuffle it, so I'll split it just so it looks nice and official. We'll shuffle the loot cards. I'll just split it just so it looks nice and official. After that, we just need to get everything gathered up, get our initiative tokens, our initiative dice, our treasure locking dice, and our heroes. The next thing we need to do is we need to figure out exactly what what level we want to play on. We can play on easy, we can play on medium, or we can play on hard. Well, for this, we're going to play on medium, which means that every one of our heroes starts with 1 extra health point. So that means Patches has 6 hit points and Pickett has 6 hit points, and then we're going to get 1 training point. Now we can spend those training points on skills, or we can spend those on attributes. Now, I don't play Pickett a lot, but I do have a little bit of experience with Patches, and I can tell you that Patches is not needing a lot of dex, but he does need a little bit in the beginning. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick 1 point of dex for Patches, and then also for Pickett, he's also the same thing. He does need more dex, so he can do a lot of attacking, a lot of defenses, start using special dice, because that's the thing that makes Pickett really good. He's very defensive, but to be defensive, he needs the dex to start rolling those dice. So we're going to take 1 die, we will add it to our dex, and that is a starting setup for all of our heroes. We're ready to begin with day number 1, and we can start the adventure. Now, when you're playing with the base game for Too Many Bones without any of the expansions, your first 3 days are going to be pretty much the same every single time you play the game. The game has some set adventures, and it's basically allowing you to, well, it's kind of controlling the curve on how you're leveling up. Make sure the heroes are not being overwhelmed in the beginning, getting unlucky card draws, or for some reason having a little bit of bad luck. So it does have a pretty set intro. The first 3 days are pretty much I don't want to say stagnant, but they kind of are as you start playing the game more. So to get more variety, there is the Undertow expansion, which adds variety with the first couple days. You have actually multiple different cards that you can choose from that'll be your first couple of day cards. Or you can buy an expansion, which actually adds a variety of different cards that you have for your first couple days. Now, I'm not playing with those, but I'm definitely going to talk about those in some separate videos. I just want to let you know that they do exist and they do add some variety. Don't think that your first 3 days are always going to be the same as long as you own the game, because there is extra variety you can add to the game. And speaking of our first day, let's go ahead and check out our first day now. So the first thing we need to do at the start of every single round is we are going to advance the day phase, if we would, but this is the very first starting the very first day. So we don't need to do that at all. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to move into the adventure part of our day. So for day number 1, the first thing we are going to do is we're going to draw our first adventure card, and we will do this in a way that we can't cheat, can't see any future adventures, and we'll pull up the first adventure day card, and it says, Leaving Obendar. Only 12 hours till dawn and the send-off ceremony that will no doubt change the lives of every remaining Gearloc and likely every life in Delore. Weapons and supplies are ready to go, but the night is young and adrenaline fills the veins. It's clear no sleep will be had tonight. There's sure to be some shady peddlers on the dark alleys ready to deal in loot. Then again, some last-minute training could pay a nice dividend by morning. So, what to do? What to do? So now we have an option. We're going to look at the back of the card, and we have 2 options of things we can choose from. The first thing we do is going to be choice number 1, which is squeeze in some last-minute self-improvement, which is going to gain us 2 training points. The other thing we do is we can shake down a shady peddler, which is going to gain 1 training point, and each Gearloc in the party may draw 2 loot and choose 1 to keep. So this is basically going to be leveling up, or this is going to be loot. Now again, this is where the decisions are already starting. Some Gearlocs are really good at leveling up. Some Gears, or I shouldn't say good at, some Gearlocs are much better by leveling up skills early in the game, especially Pickett. With Pickett, if I get his first 3 skills as quickly as possible, they're going to help him for the rest of the adventure. Whereas opposed, some of these Gearlocs are really good at taking gear, manipulating gear, and doing things like that. So you do have choices right immediately from the beginning of the game. But just to make this fast and make this efficient, I'm actually going to do 2 skill ups for both of our Gearlocs here. And I have some good reasons for doing that. I'll go and explain them very, very quickly. But to do that, let's go ahead and bring out every one of these character sheets. We're going to start off here looking at Pickett. And we're going to look at all the things that we can do with these 2 skill ups. So we do have 2 skills for Pickett, and the first thing that I'm going to do with Pickett is I'm going to level up his attack. Because we are looking at a very tanky party here. We have a pure tank and we have a healer. So we don't have much ability to do a lot of damage. So we need to think about leveling our heroes in a way that's going to allow them to do some damage, because we may be able to do really well at surviving, but as you'll see as we go into these fights, you have a certain amount of rounds to win these fights. If you don't, everybody's going to start taking damage, and it becomes a war of attrition at that point. And while it is possible to survive those with Patches, and actually Patches is actually really good at surviving the solo game, almost to the point where he's kind of boring at times, because he does have the ability to win the war of attrition, which is why I really do like Undertow, because with the mechs he can't really do that. But I'll get into that when I talk about the review. But anyways, my point is that we have a party here that can't do a lot of damage. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to give Pickett a level up. So our current attack value with Pickett is 1, so that means we have to roll 1 die, and if we get a bonus, he can't level up his attack. So we'll roll, and we don't get a bonus, so that means he gets to level up his attack, and now his attack is at level 2. So we have the 1 die here, we now have 2 attack for Pickett, and we have 1 more level up we can take. Now we have a couple different options with Pickett. Now we have really strong healing, so we don't really need stand ground, but these abilities are really fantastic. And I can't start taking the other abilities, like the ability to do more damage, until I take stand ground. So I take stand ground, or I can start looking at the hero tree, but I think I'm going to take stand ground, which is going to be in our captain tree, which allows us to have a permanent regen. And the more he's regenning, the less that Patches needs to worry about healing. And Patches actually has some really good ways of doing damage if you build Patches right. So again, like I said, how you pick your Gearlocs is going to affect how you're going to play these adventures. So we are going to take the stand ground. That's going to be die number 1. We're simply going to slot it right here. We're going to hope we're going to get that lucky roll, which allows us to get the power of regen. So we're done looking at Patches. Or at Pickett's level up. Let's go ahead and look at Patches now. Now, like I said, we don't have a lot of attack power here right now, but we do want to kind of play to the strengths of our party while kind of compensating for our weaknesses. So I'm actually going to look at the Toxins tree, because Toxins allows us to have the power of poison. Poison can be extremely powerful in this game, especially against Nom, because Nom, not trying to give us away spoilers, but Nom has a lot of really strong defenses. And to go against Nom, poison can be very powerful against him, because poison is something that can avoid the defenses that Nom uses. So we're going to take the poison die, and we're going to add it right over here under Toxins. And now we have 1 more level up we can take. Now we have a couple different options here. We can take attack, because our attack value is really abysmal at this point. Or we can take the ability to actually use the med kit, and we can kind of start surviving these wars of attrition, which might be a better backup plan for us. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the med kit, and that'll be the level ups for both of our heroes. That finishes up the leveling up phase for the adventure card right here. So we've completed the adventure card. We have 1 progress point. We'll stick this over here. Actually, I'm going to put this in a way that everybody can see it. So we now have 1 progress point towards the 6 we need to encounter Nom. We're done with that. We're done with the leveling up phase. Now we get to go to the part of the phase where we get to do some exploration. So now we're in the recovery phase. So the first thing we're going to do in the recovery phase is we would get the chance to exchange loot among any of our heroes. We don't have any because we didn't pick that from the adventure card. Next thing we get to do is get the chance to pick any locks. If we had any locks that need to be picked, we don't have that. So now all of our heroes get to make one of a couple decisions. We can go exploring, we can decide to heal, or we can do a couple different other things. What I think we're going to do is we're just going to do a simple exploration for both of our heroes. Now what that requires us to do is our heroes are going to roll a die. Depending on what they roll on the die is going to allow them to scout ahead and see what kind of monsters and what kind of baddies we're going to fight in the future. So we're going to roll the die for Patches, and we're going to get a 2. That's going to allow us to check the level 1 stack of baddies. We'll flip over the first one, and we will see that it's going to be an Orc Peon. They have 3 hit points, 3 initiative, and I didn't mention this earlier, but both of our heroes have terrible initiative, which means they are very rarely going to go first in any of these encounters. So that's something we need to think about, and it also has the ability of Rage. Now if we look at the cheat sheet that comes with the game, we can look up the ability for Rage, and we look down here, we see that Rage says, if this unit is not at full hit points, it's gain extra points of damage. So this one, as long as he's injured, he's going to do more damage. So now I need to decide if I want to leave him at the top of the queue or toss him at the bottom. I'm actually going to leave him at the top of the queue because they are actually not too terrible of an enemy, and I'm actually okay fighting them because they're not going to be quite too horrible for our heroes, and that's something we can actually take out with not too many problems. So I'm okay doing that. So that's Pickett's exploration. Now we go to Patches. For their exploration, they're also going to roll 2, which means we're going to check the next level 1 baddie, and we're going to see it's an Orc Peon. I swear I shuffled these. You watch me shuffle them. I'm going to leave the Orc Peon on top because they're not that tough, and it's not something I'm really going to worry about. That's it for the exploration or the recovery phase. All of our heroes are done with the recovery. We now are done with this turn. We now get to start day number 2 by advancing the day cycle, and then we're going to draw our next adventure card. So we're going to pick without checking out what comes up next. Simply slide that underneath, and then we get to read our day 2 adventure and find out what's going to happen to our heroes. So it is heartily out the gate. 15 steps into the journey. 15 steps, and already a Gearloc boot is stuck through by an arrow. Luckily, no toes were killed, teeth are clenched, and a painful tug is made while looking around in embarrassment. Yow! Now, sufficiently ticked, it's time to return the favor to the ominous figures at the edge of the woods. A commotion breaks out atop the city wall, interrupting all thoughts. Guards have now spotted the brazen intruders and are notching their arrows. Their help is at the ready. Like it or not, this adventure is underway. So now we're going to get two options. First, we get hail the guards for help, which means the baddie queue is going to be the amount of baddie points. Or on day 2 with 2 adventurers, that means the baddie queue is going to be 4. We're going to get 4 level 1 baddies. Not too terrible. But at the start of each round, the arrows from the walls are going to fly and deal damage to the baddies. We really don't need much help with damage because we do have a lot of durability, and I don't think it's going to be something we need to worry about. So we're going to take option number 2. You can tell I've done this a few times. So it's time to show Omandar what Gearlocs are made of. With Omandar watching, you feel an extra shot of adrenaline as you prepare for an unassisted battle. Baddie queue is baddie points. We don't get the arrows firing from the walls, but the bonus of doing that is we're going to see that we are going to gain 1 extra skill by doing it. So we can actually get 2 training points instead of just 1 training point by going full board and taking out these baddies all by ourselves without any assistance from the guards on the wall. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set the baddie queue and get prepared for this battle against these villains. So the first thing we need to do is figure out the baddie queue. Again, it's the number of days times the amount of Gearlocs we have in the party. And again, that's decided by this card. Some of these cards will shake it up. And again, when you throw in expansions, they're also going to change things up quite a bit for you. So our baddie queue is 4. So we're going to get the highest level baddies we can, which is the level 1 baddies. And we're going to get 4 of them. So we know what the first 2 baddies are going to be, so it's not too challenging. It's the next 2 baddies, which are going to be the total surprises for us that we have no idea what they are. So we're going to pick the first baddie, which has 3 hit points. We're going to take the 3 hit point chips. We're going to see that this baddie happens to be a melee baddie, so he's going to go in the melee lane right here. We're going to take the number 1, put that right here, put the 3 hit point chips underneath, and then we are going to set the initiative to number 3. We'll stick that right here because we don't know where the next baddies are coming. Baddie number 2 is going to be right here. We're going to put them in lane number 2. They're melee also, so we're going to go right here in this spot right here. We're going to see they have 3 hit points. They are going to be the number 2 initiative, and we will gain the number 3 initiative die. Now they're going to attack next because they're in lane priority number 2, so we don't have to worry about them interfering, or we don't have to worry about the initiative issues right there. So we know that they're going to be next. Next up is going to be lane number 3, and this is our first surprise, and we're going to see it's also another orc. So basically this is an orc party that's attacking us, and we're going to see that they have the ability of raiding. Now to look up what raiding does, we just simply look at the chart right here and we read raiding, and it's going to say that raiding says this unit gains 1 extra attack die for every additional orc type baddie on the mat, which means that this is a baddie we need to take out as quick as possible because we have at least 2 additional orc baddies on the mat, which means he's going to have 3 attack, which makes him super duper nasty, especially since he has 3 hit points. And he has 4 initiative. Put him out on the mat, put him on the initiative, and he is ranged. Ooh, that's even worse. I forgot these guys are ranged. So he is ranged, which means he's going to be kind of interesting for us to take out. We need to take him out as quick as possible. I'm starting to regret not having the help of the guards on the wall at this point, but oh well, it adds extra fun. Our final baddie we're going to have here is... I swear I shuffled these. I really did think I shuffled these. So the final one we're going to get is same situation we already had. That is going to be a 4 initiative. Going to go underneath right there. We will take this and we will take 3 hit points, and he is ranged, and we are actually in for, I'm going to say we're actually in for kind of a challenging fight. Let's hope things don't go too badly against us. So now we need to figure out where our Gearlocs are going to come in. So we need to roll initiative for our Gearlocs and hope that we can get better than a 4, which is going to be extremely hard to do since both of our Gearlocs have very terrible initiatives. And we're going to get, okay, I'm going to prove myself wrong here. I'm going to be very happy with that. So we have a 5 and a 4, and things may not be as terrible as they looked in the beginning. So now that we've rolled the initiative, we need to add both of our Gearlocs to the board. Both of our Gearlocs are melee Gearlocs. That means they have to go on the melee row right here. And before we do anything, we know Pickett needs to roll his defense. So he gets 2 defense before the fight even starts. And we have 2 defense. That's actually a decent start, so that's not too terrible. It could be worse. Things are not as bleak as they looked. So now we just need to figure out where we want to add our heroes and realize that we need to take these guys out as absolutely quick as possible. So I'm going to put Pickett right here and have him going after this raiding orc right here. And then I'm going to have Patches go right here in the hopes of going after this raiding orc right here. My hope is to poison them and defeat them before they cause us way too many problems. So now we're going to start the battle, starting with the top, starting with Picket, who gets to go first. Now before this fight starts, I'm actually thinking strategically, and that's what's actually really fun about this game. This really is a tactic style game. If you're familiar with the term from tactic style games like Final Fantasy Tactics or the games on computers or PCs or consoles, you know what tactic style games is. Your positioning and the actions you take are extremely important. And it's going to be really important in this fight because if I can take out one of these raiding orcs before they get to go, they're going to do less damage. Because right now, each one of these raiding orcs is rolling 4 attack dice, which is pretty much going to almost kill any one of our heroes. So I'm actually going to switch the positions of our 2 heroes before the fight even starts. Because yellow is going to go before green, and if I can kill this yellow guy before he goes, that means this green guy is only going to roll 3 combat dice, whereas opposed to otherwise he may have rolled 4 combat dice. So I'm really hoping I can do enough damage, because most likely Picket can't kill his guy, but there's a good chance that Patches can, thanks to the fact that I took the toxin die, which might help us survive this battle. I hope. So starting at the top of the thing, we are going to move with Picket, who's going to activate first. He is going to spend 1 of his decks to advance 1 space forward. And remember, we have 3 decks because we've spent 1 point to increase our dexterity. And we can't roll any defense dice, so we now have 2 attack dice, or we can roll 1 attack dice and possibly get some regen. I am just going to roll 2 attack dice and hope that I can roll at least 3 hits to take out this guy before he causes too many problems. So let's hope luck is on our side. And we are going to get 2 points of damage. Not as bad as it could have been, but definitely not as good as we needed it to be. So this guy is going to take 2 points of damage. We'll remove those, and that's going to be it for Picket's turn. Now we get to go to Patches. Patches has 3 decks. We'll move 1 up, which leaves us 2 decks left for spending on dice. We'll take 1 of those for this. Oh boy. And we can take 1 defense die, or we do 1 attack die. This is the gamble we are going to take, because if I remember correctly, this die has 2, 2, and a 1. So basically, I have a 50-50 shot of this die saving our lives if I do this right. So I think I'm going to go with the poison. And hopefully the dice are in our favor, because if not, this is going to be really painful really quickly. So we are going to do it. So this is awesome. So we'll do 1 point of damage to this raiding orc. He'll take the point of damage, and then we're going to put 2 poison on top of him. So I should grab this poison right here and put this right here so I know it's been used. So he's going to take 2 points of damage. That is it. That's the end of Patch's turn. So now we are going to advance on the initiative order right here. This orc is going to activate, and before he does anything, beginning of turn effects going to take effect. He is going to take 2 points of poison damage, and he is going to be removed from the battle queue. He is removed from the fight, and things are actually looking a little bit better for our heroes, but no guarantees that we are actually going to survive this encounter. This poison token is removed and used up. We'll remove this die, and we're finished with that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is going to be the green orc, which has 1 hit point left. Now he is going to attack the hero who has the least amount of hit points. Both our heroes have 6 health, so I can pick between them, and I'm going to pick Picket, because Picket has defense dice. So he can actually take the hits, and I don't mind burning through these at all, at least not at this point. And we know that Patches is going to take some damage, but he can also heal, so it's not that big of a deal. So he is going to roll 3 attack dice. Ouch, 4. That is just painful. So 2 damage and 2 more points of damage right there. That's it for this raiding orc. Next up is going to be the blue one, which is going to attack Patches over here. He gets 1 attack die only, so not too terrible. 1 point of damage to us. We will take that point of damage because we can heal, not too big of a deal. And then finally, this one is going to attack over here. Rolls 1 attack die and get a bones, no bones effect. So everything's good. That's it for the first round. We now get to move on to round number 2 with all of our heroes. At the top of the round, we get Picket, who gets to go, and now Picket, we have 3 decks, and we don't need to move at all. So we have the raiding orc, which we should be able to take out with 1 attack die, although I've had bad luck before, so you never can tell. I would love to get the regen die into play at this point, and I think I'm going to go for a defense die. Now I know I'm kind of pushing my luck here because we do have a lot of baddies on the board, but I do have some healing power. And I don't think things look too darn terrible because I still have one heal left, so I don't think we're doing absolutely too terrible at this point. So I'm going to push my luck, and hopefully I won't roll too badly with the attack die, and that's going to be our decision. So our target is going to be this raiding orc. We will roll the dice, and dice be in our favor, and dice are not in our favor at all. So we're going to get 1 defense. We are going to get 2 bones, and I think I actually can do an attack with 2 bones with him if I remember correctly. Shield Bash, remove all defense dice including new rolled active slots and lock slots. In this way, do a total number of removed dice and damage to target. Is it the same or is it half? I forget. Remove all defense including newly rolled, so that would be 2 defense dice, or 1 defense actually. And skill dice removed in this way are exhausted. Do a total of removed defense and damage to target. So I would damage that one, but I do believe that one says may use this in your backup plan after use place back in the skill slot. So I do believe that this does not exhaust if I remember correctly. Oh no, it says skill dice removed in this way are exhausted for shield bash. Is it worth it to do 1 point of damage to make sure I don't take a whole bunch of damage all over again? I could take the hits, but yeah, you know what? I don't care. I want to take this guy out. So we are going to remove those. It does say this is removed, even though it's a reusable, because I think it trumps it. We're going to remove this. We're going to do 1 point damage. We are going to get rid of this raiding orc. Now, if I played Pickle wrong, just let me know in the comments down below. I don't play Picket too often. I can't remember if this die always recycles unless you do the shield bash. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure the shield bash, that's why it only costs 2 bones to use. It does cause your recycling dice to be exhausted, if I remember correctly. If not, you just let me know in the comments down below. It's a minor correction for everybody out there. So that's going to be it for Picket. Next thing we have up is we are going to have patches. Now, me attacking 2 orcs is going to be kind of silly, because then they're both going to start doing a 2 attack dice, which is something I don't need to happen at all. So I think I'm just going to position myself smartly, because we're only in round 2. We don't need to worry about fatigue, and I just think it's a better decision at this point. So I'll go 1, 2, and I will go 3 right here. That way we are able to tag team on this orc, because remember, we don't have a lot of damage potential, and we want to be able to use that. But before that happens, am I hurt at all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am. So I will heal back 1, because that's Patches' natural ability to always heal 1 hit point at the start of the round. That is it for Patches. Now we get to go over to the orcs, who are going to attack in that order. So this one is going to activate. He's going to go after the nearest target, which is going to be Patches down here. We'll roll 1 attack die against us, and we'll take 1 point of damage, conveniently, that we just healed. And then this one is going to attack the weakest guy, which is going to be, I believe it's going to be Picket. Yep, it's going to be Picket, has 4 because he has 5. So 1 attacking against Picket, and that's going to be 2 points of damage, and things are not going in my favor anymore. That is not good at all. That is both these bad guys activating. We are now going to move on to round number 3. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be throwing a heal out there very, very quickly. So the first thing that's going to happen is Picket is going to activate, and we are going to roll. How gutsy do we want to be? We need to take these bad guys out. So I'm going to roll 2 attack dice, and I'm going to roll 1 defense die, because we need to do 3 points of damage to this guy very, very quickly. So I will roll 1 defense, so we know I'm not going to die immediately, at least hopefully. We'll do 2 points of damage to this one. And, well, I think we're going to do okay. So that is it. Now we are going to move on to Patches. So Patches is going to roll 1 healing die. I have 3 dexterity. So I'll roll 1 attack. And then I'll roll 1 defense, because that's about all I can do right now. It's actually not too terrible. Well, that one's cocked. Too bad that would have been a 2. That would have been wonderful. Oh, great. So I got a 1 instead. Oh, well, could be worse. So we'll do 1 point of damage. I'm sorry, I should have called my target, but I feel it's pretty darn obvious at that point. We will do 3 points of healing over here, which does not put him past his maximum. And that will be us removing this from the initiative track, and we're actually doing okay right now. So that's it for Patches. Now let's go ahead and move up to this orc, who is going to attack me right here. He has 1 attack die. We will roll it. Ooh, 2 points of damage. You know, every time I think I'm doing good, something like that happens. So that's going to be it. We will now move on to round number 4. So the first thing we will do is we'll advance. 1, 2, I still have 1 dex worth of attack left. I will target this guy and get a bones. That's not exactly what I wanted because I don't think there's any single bone power that he has at all. And wow, that was pretty much abysmal. Not what I wanted to do. Okay, so now we will go over to patches. And I have 1 attack, and that's about it. Well, first thing we will do, we will heal. Again, this is a problem with not having a lot of attack options. At least we had that poison eye, which saved us. So I get 1 attack, 1 defense, and that's about, oh, don't even get the defense. I get 1 attack die. Yeah, that's all I get. So we'll do 1 point of damage. And then this is going to target the person who has the least amount of hit points. He's hurt, so that means he's going to roll 2 attack dice, and I believe 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 5. So yep, it does mean that Patch isn't going to be hit. 2 dice, and we'll get 2 points of damage. We're getting beaten up, but we're going to survive this, and then we will move on to round number 5. Start round number 5. Picket is going to attack. I have 1 defense, so I get to roll 1 defense die and 2 attack die because I have 3 dex. So we'll get 1 defense. Not that it's going to matter because we'll do 2 points of damage. He will be defeated, and that will be it. And we have won this encounter. So we'll take our initiative dice back for both of our heroes. We'll return this, and then both of our heroes will return to their mats where their locked dice or the exhausted dice will return to their mats. And then we get to go on to the reward phase, which is really, really awesome for our heroes. So since we took the tougher part of the fight, that means that each of our heroes are going to get a skill up for both of our heroes. And then this is a time where we need to figure out exactly which one of powers and which skill ups we want to take for both of our heroes at this time. So we've seen that both of our Gearlocs actually have the ability to be pretty darn survivable, but the problem is we are just not doing enough damage, or it's pretty much a slow fight for us. So we may want to start leveling up our heroes in a way that can compensate for the fact that we're pretty darn defensive, but not very offensive. Unless we're just, you know, being mean, then we're a little bit offensive. So the first thing we are going to do with Picket is we are looking okay with defense. I think I'm going to raise his attack stat. So his attack stat is currently at 2. I'll roll 2 attack dice. And well, there's a bone, so I guess that's not going to level up. So I think instead I'm just going to level up his dexterity to 2, and that's going to be on this first level up right here. Now we're going to come over to Patches. Again, don't have much attack power, so I need to get some attack power, and I won't get a bone, so that's going to be good. I will get up to level 2 attack, so that's actually a little bit better. Next thing we are going to get as our reward here, oops, gotta look at the correct one. So we've done our skill up, so next thing we're going to get as our reward here is, first I should read, after either choice of the battle is lost, this goes back on the top of the queue. We won the battle, so I don't need to worry about it. So we are going to get a loot for each one of our heroes. So first loot will be for Picket, and they will get the last battle stew. Use until depleted. Place 7 hit points on this card. At the start of each new day, remove 1 hit point for spoilage. Outside of battle, any Gearloc may remove any number of hit points from the stew to heal for that amount. Well, that's actually pretty darn awesome. That's actually going to come up at a phenomenal time, because that means I probably won't have to rest at the end of this day. Because I think I do as many as I want, right? Any number, yep. So I will put that right here, and that's going to change our rest phase for this day. It's actually going to change how our recovery phase is going to work quite differently against what I was planning originally, so that's good. So that's the loot for them. We'll go over to Patches loot. Patches will get the skinny knife. 3 uses. Before drawing your next encounter, place a defeated baddie from your most recent battle onto this card. Any baddies of that type appearing in your next battle are surprised. At the battle, return baddie to defeated stack. Well, going into the next battle with surprise could be nice. Although at this rate, I think I've cleared out all the orcs out of the stack, so I don't think Skinny Knife is going to help me at all at this point, so I'm not going to worry about that. Although, the way I'm drawing, I probably will draw that one of the last 2 orcs, but hopefully not, because that looked a little bit ridiculous when that happened. So, next thing we are going to do is go on with our second reward, which is going to be a skill up for both of our heroes. So I'm going to go with dexterity. Oops, let's do this in order. So we still need attack for pickles, and we also really need attack for pickles because having only 2 attack is not going to work for him. So I'm going to try to raise that attack again. It's just not meant to be. Okay, so dexterity could give us 4, don't need it. Health we don't need. Defense. We could lock 3 defense dice, which actually could be decent with our shield bash, especially if I get the bones. Let's go for defense. Let's see if we do this. I succeeded, so his defense is going to go up to level 3. It can't be terrible. I mean, I didn't get the attack I wanted. Actually, I could have gone for sword advance. Sword advance would almost be as good. Because if I remember correctly, sword advance is actually plus to your attack, which is very, very nice, right? Sword advance is add to the total damage applied to your target lasts for an entire venture. So it doesn't use up dex. If I get it to go, it adds to the total damage applied to your target. That actually could be a lot better because I'm not really needing defense this time. So I think I'm going to do sword advance. So sword advance is going to be that's number 5. So sword advance right here. If I get lucky, that's going to be amazing. Extra point of damage without using up dex is going to be phenomenal. Our other level up over here. Now we got some decisions. I think I want to go for the bone saw, right? Bone saw, bone saw, bone saw. Do some extra damage. Yeah, I'm going to go for bone saw. Bone saw, for that I need fast hands first. And fast hands allows us to do extra healing. So tough call. This is full of very, very tough calls. Or I go for nutrients. Nutrients is nice because it allows us to get extra loot. Extra loot. You can see loot can be very, very powerful and very, very nice here. Okay, this is a very, very tough call. What do I want to do here? I want to do this fast so you're not stuck watching boring footage, or I can go for dex. Let's see here. Don't need dex. I am going to go towards that bone saw, so I'm going to take fast hands. Fast hands is die number 2. Eventually my goal is to hope that we get that bone saw, which is going to be very, very nice. So that's a leveling up for both of our heroes. That completes day 2 of our adventure. We now have 2 progress points towards encountering the baddie. We are going to move on to our recovery phase. So the first thing recovery phase we can do is we can trade in loot if we want to. We don't want to trade any loot. We don't have any locks to attempt to pick. So I think we are going to use this last battle stew, and we have 2 for 5. He will heal for 1, and we have 2 heal for 4. 2, 3, 4. So that puts us both back up to 6 hit points for both of our heroes. I believe the stew is going to lose 1 of his hit points at the end of the round. Let me double check here. Each new day. So each day is going to lose 1 hit point. So we're fully healed up. So now we get to do the option of what we want to do on a recovery phase. We can do a search for better loot, which I actually think I do want to do for Picket. And then Patches is actually going to explore the next stack. So we're going to take this last battle stew, which is almost used up anyways. We will discard it. It did what we needed to do. We will discard it, and then we are going to roll 6 dice, and we are going to hope that we do not get any bones. Or we're going to hope for a lot of bones, I mean. So we'll roll, and we will get 1 bones. Not too bad. So we will get a new loot, and we'll get the prior iron. 2 uses. Add 2 to an action die result during your lockpick attempt. I'll be trading that one in pretty quickly, too, because I'm not seeing any need for lockpicking at this time. So Patches is going to explore ahead. And we will get a 3. I'm going to take a look at, let's see here. Actually, that's the 1 to 3 is 1 point baddie. So, oh, hey, it's not actually an orc. It's kind of nice. We're going to fight a dragon. The dragon has the ability of engulf, which means it's going to hit everything in an area effect. If we look over here on the list, we see that engulf coming down here. It is engulf all damage rolled, also hits all units next to the target. Basically, that's a short version of it. So that can be good. I think I'm going to leave that on top because that's actually not too bad, because our 2 heroes are not going to stand too close to each other quite yet. It says all damage rolled also hits all units adjacent to target, including itself, as well as triggers reaction skills if applicable. So that could be a good one to keep on top. So that's it. We are done with day 2. We are now going to move on to day 3. Start of day 3, we are going to take our next encounter card and we'll read the encounter. Crossing the Ciberon. The Ciberon River, a glistening vein of trade running the length of the lore, playfully beckons as it shimmers in the daylight up ahead. But with so few bridges in these parts, this crossing is an obvious spot for enemy scouts and traps. A journey of this importance leaves only 2 options. Tucking the ears and trying to blend in is a risky but efficient. A boat at dusk carries less chance of discovery but requires business with a Molnar, a trading syndicate with their own set of drawbacks. Option number 1. Tuck your ears and walk like a commoner. We'll get 1 progress point, and we'll roll a d6 for each Gearloc in your party. On a roll of 2 or less, your party is spotted. Find the first Tyrant encounter in your deck and place on top, shuffle the remaining cards, and keep them underneath. Encounter success is achieved no matter the outcome. The other option is we can hire the Molnar. The Molnar are surprisingly easy to work with. Not only do they drop us safely in the east bank of the river under the cover of darkness, they also offer a Trove Loot gift. Maybe our success is good for business. Shuffle special encounter Molnar traders into your encounter deck, which would be this card right here. We would add that into our encounter deck. No surprise, no spoilers, because I'm not actually going to choose that right here, but that would be the option. I'm going to go for the one that allows us to get some training points because, well, a Trove Loot would be kind of nice to show you what the Trove Loot's, how that works too. So actually, I think I want to show you how the Trove Loots work, so I'm going to choose that second option. So I'm going to be nice to show you guys exactly a lot of gameplay. So we're going to hire the Molnar, and it says shuffle the special encounter card Molnar traders into your encounter deck. So we will take the Molnar encounters. It may not come up. It may not. It could possibly not come up. I mean, I've seen it not happen before. We'll shuffle the cards, and then we'll put the adventure card back on top. And then we will get a Trove Loot for each of our heroes. Trove Loot number 1, the Hunter's Body. Oops, wait, that's right. We don't get to look at these yet. I'm sorry, that's my error. So we get that one, and then this hero is going to get this Trove Loot also. So we have no encounters, and now we get to roll to see if we can pick some of these locks. We have 1 progress point, but no training. Let's go ahead and move on to the recovery phase for our heroes. So during the recovery phase, we get to trade any loot if we want. I don't want to do any trading loot, so the next thing we are going to do is we get to attempt to do some lock picking. So we will start with this lock right here, and we will roll our lock picking dice. So for the first one, we have to do the lever, the trip, and then the force. So we need 1 point for the lever. This should be really super easy. So we got 1 point for the lever, so we got level 1 done, and that's complete for that. That was actually really super darn easy. Next thing we have is a 6 for the trip, which is now, this is going to be a little bit more challenging. So the cruelty here is the fact that if you could unlock multiple locks on a single roll, I would just unlock 2 levels of this trap or this Trove Loot. Unfortunately, you can only unlock 1 level at a time, no matter how well you happen to roll. So that kind of, well, that's kind of unfortunate, and that's just cruel mistress of fate, just tormenting and taunting me very badly. So I need 6 trip to open this with 2 dice. Not impossible, just not very probable. But let's go ahead and give it a try anyways. So we will roll, and we will get a +1. That is not going to do it. I'm pretty much done at this point. So this Trove Loot is done. I got level 1. I'll just memorize that. Normally you put these next to your mats, but I didn't really set the table intelligently. I was trying to worry more about the table space for the camera. So just know that normally you put these Trove Loots like this, and you kind of track as you open the spots. That's what these 2 dots are for on the side of your little character sheet here, right here. So that is it. So now we will go over here to Patches, who is also going to help us unlock this Trove Loot because, well, the other one's pretty tough too. So I need a 6 trip. I got 2. And this is a reroll a die. So I am not going to be able to do it. So let's just reroll that. Wow, talk about these dice just not liking me at all. So that's force. I need trip. Wow, that was a whole bunch of force, and I can't use any of it. So this lock is not going. Oops, hold on. Did I forget about this? I had 2 to an action die result. Oh, I should have used this. That would have actually did that. Oh, that was horrible. I actually could have used this prying iron to open the Trove Loot because I had 4, because I had, yeah, I did, because I had 3 trip, and then I had +1 for my die, and that would have given me +2. That would have been 6. I would have had it right then and there if I would have paid better attention. Darn it. Well, no retconning, because I don't believe retconning, because that's just not something I like to do. So unfortunately, since I wasn't paying close enough attention, I did not get to open that loot. So now we get to finish with the lockpicking, and now we get to either rest and recover, which we don't need to do, so we get to search for better loot, or we get to scout the area. We need to decide exactly what we want to do. I am thinking that we don't really need to scout the area. I think we are going to search for better loot. I am going to go ahead and cash in this item right here for patches, and then we will roll 6 dice, and we will see if we can get some better loot here. And hopefully I'll get a couple bones, and of course the dice are not in my favor today, but hey, that's part of the fun of the game. So next thing we can do with Picket is we could also try to get better loot, since I don't think we're going to open that Trove Loot anytime soon. Although without that crowbar, I'm probably not going to do it, period. So I don't think I'm going to do that. So what Picket is going to do is Picket is going to explore. Give me a 4 or higher. Hey, got a 6. I got what I asked for. We are going to look at the level 5. Ooh, I am seeing no fun. So we have 1 dragon with engulf, and we have another dragon with engulf, and also happens to have weaken. Now weaken is extra fun for our heroes, because weaken, oops, I had the right side the first time. Weaken is going to place a weaken effect die on the target. Gearloc's dex is reduced by the next, or for the next turn, by the number of that mount. And I am not liking that at all. Not that any of the level 5 guys are going to be any good at all, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle him to the bottom, because that's what I like to call a terrible one. So that is it for recovery phase. We get to move on to the next day, and we're going to advance to day number 4. So we will look at the next encounter card, and we will reveal the encounter, and let's go ahead and see what happens to our heroes. A bold challenge. Although the afternoon sun obscures his features, the giant shadow cast by the stranger ahead makes the hair on your back stand in attention. Everyone feels it. The fact that it stands squarely blocking our only advancement makes confrontation a painful certainty. However, it seems most of us may yet avoid the unwanted exercise this day, as the mountainous figure has his own plans. A challenge is made clear as his voice thunders across the gap between us, declaring, "Choose your champion, then die." Dum dum dum. Option number 1. Hello, Goliath. Battle Q equals baddie points, which would be 8 baddie points, which could be extra unfun at this point. Place baddie from top of baddie queue in lane number 1. Select 1 Gearloc to face off against it for 3 rounds. If baddie or Gearloc is defeated early, remaining baddies and Gearlocs join the battle at the end of the current round. Otherwise, they join the battle at the end of round 3. Other option, ignore this challenge. Let's take them. Baddie Q points equals party 1 to 2. Add 4 baddie points, so we'd be at 12 baddie points, which is 2 of these and 2 of these guys. So basically, we're looking at 8 baddie points, and it's going to be a standoff, or it'll be 12 baddie points, and it won't be as much of a standoff. Now we need to decide exactly what we want to do here, looking at a party of heroes. So this actually makes me regret my decision not to raise Picket's defense up by 1, but oh well, hindsight is 20/20. So I think I'm going to go after the Hello Goliath, just because thematically I think it's pretty darn cool, and it actually sounds pretty darn fun. Although I'll probably get my butt kicked, but hey, it's going to be fun. At least I think it'll be fun. So, and plus it's either going to be 4 baddies or 4 baddies, but the difference is it's going to be 1 level 5 and 3 level 1s, or 2 level 5s and 2 level 1s. I think I'm going to go for the lower level ones, especially at this point, because I don't have a lot of damage output with my heroes quite yet. So I'm kind of hedging my bets and hoping that this is going to work in my favor. So we're going to pick Hello Goliath. It says baddie Q is equal to baddie points. So we are at day 4 with 2 heroes. That means our baddie Q equals 8. So we have a level 5, a level 1 we know, and 2 level 1s we have no idea what they happen to be. So put the level 5 on top, and he is the one that we are going to have a 3-round standoff against. But before we do this, we need to figure out exactly which one of our heroes is going to stand off against this baddie. And I don't know if we get to pick the baddie before. It says, place baddie from top baddie queue in lane number 1. So yes, I do get to see exactly what I'm fighting. So Lane number 1 shall be a hardy compound kobold elite. So this is extra fun. It's going to basically influence my decision that we need to take here, because hardy means that I can't do a lot of damage to them at all. Not that I can do a lot of damage as it is anyways, but hardy says any turn this unit takes damage to its hit points, including true damage, total is reduced to 1. The problem is I need to get him defeated before the end of round 3. Except looking at this, he only takes 1 point of damage, period, which means the only person who could actually effectively fight him is Patches, thanks to the ability to use poison. So that pretty much guarantees that Patches is going to be my Gearloc, is going to go after this little nasty little creature who happens to have 5 hit points. So he is a melee baddie, and he actually attacks twice. Oh, that's even more fun. And he also has the ability of Compound, and Compound says this unit's attack stat is equal to the current round. Yeah, this is somebody I want to take out as quickly as possible. This is going to be extra fun. So this will go right here. At least we know I have 3 rounds to do it, and we know that Patches is going to be our Gearloc. So Patches will come out right there, and he has initiative of 3. And let's see if Patches can beat that, and at least roll a little bit better on the initiative die and have better odds against our bad guy. I'll get a 3. I get to pick who goes first. It's going to be me. That's kind of a no-brainer at this point. And we will start the fight at the top of round number 1. Now, there's no prior to encounter abilities. Pickett's on the battle, so I don't get to do his shield ability. I don't get to do it until right before he enters the fight, so we don't need to worry about that yet. Actually, I think I'm going to do that just so I don't forget. Oh boy, B-Bone, so he gets nothing. Oh, great. So we'll start round number 1, and Patches will activate. So we have a total of 3 decks and 2 attack and 1 defense. Well, we are going to put our poison in there. We know that for a fact. We might as well only do 1 attack die, because that's all we can do to him anyways. And let's get 1 defense. That way we can take the hits back from him. So we have a total of 3 dice. That's what we can roll. We'll roll the dice, and oh my gosh, I have not seen the dice hate me this much in at least 20 minutes. Okay, we will get 1 bones. We will do 1 point of damage to him. This is absolutely pitiful. I need to roll anything but that. Matter of fact, since I need to roll anything but that, I'm not even going to use it. I don't have to use it. I don't believe that's one of those dice that you have to use. I'm going to take that die back. We have no defense. We got a bones. We have nothing we can do with 1 bones. Good golly, that was absolutely abysmal. There's not much I could have done worse in this instance. That's pretty much the worst thing I could have done. Okay, fun. So now we'll advance this right here. And now he gets to attack. He only has 1 attack, luckily for now. And he will attack Patches. Patches will take 1 point of damage. I'm just going to stick it right here because I'm about to heal it right back. And then we will start round number 2. These guys do not come in quite yet. Start round 2. I will heal 1 point of damage. I'm going to take 1 attack. I'm going to take 1 defense. And we're going to try this poison tactic again and see if the dice like me just a little bit better. Well, they definitely liked me a little bit not so bad. We have a bone. We'll do 2 points damage, which is only going to be 1 point of damage against this baddie. And then we will poison level 2 him, which is actually kind of what I need to do in this instance. So we'll poison level 2 him, which means we actually have a chance right now. So we do have 2 bones. What can I do with 2 bones? That's heal Gearloc for 1 hit point. Not going to worry about it at this time. That is it for Patches, and now we get to go to this guy. The first thing that's going to happen is he is going to take his poison damage, which is very, very nice. He's going to take 2 points of poison. That leaves him with 1 hit point, and this is going to tick down to the number 1. And then he's going to attack us. Unfortunately, it's round number 2, so that means he gets 2 attack dice. This should only hurt, a lot. And we'll take 3 points of damage. I said it's going to hurt a lot, didn't I? 1, 2, 3. And then we will end round number 2, and at the end of this round, all the other baddies are going to enter the fight. This is extra fun at this point. So, I think I'm going to want to lock this multiplier. I think that one locks, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's going to be heal assist. That one will lock, so I will want to roll this die to lock. Well, let me do my heal before I forget. We'll heal 1 point of damage. We'll want to do this for our lock, and then we'll want to do 1 defense. And I think we are actually going to move. Well, do we want to move? We have 3 more baddies. How do I want to position? I got to think about this strategically. I mean, I can't roll the 3rd die anyway, so I may want to do some with the dex. Do I want to reposition? Because this guy is going to go right here, and I want to put Pickle right there. No, actually, I don't think I want to do that. Gosh darn it. This guy's going to go right here. If I stay right there, I can advance on him, and I should be good. So I'm actually going to stay right there, so I'm only going to roll 2 dice. We're going to hope for a defense. Hey, we finally got defense. And look, we got a bone. Heavy sigh. The dice are not in my favor. Stick target for 2 damage. That may not be too bad, actually. 2 damage may be very nice. So that is it for patches. And now the bad guy is going to go. He's going to take the last point of poison damage. He is going to die, and he'll be removed from the queue. We'll be kind of happy about that. That is going to be the end of the round, and now these bad guys get to enter the queue, and our heroes also, or our other hero also gets to enter the battle queue. And hopefully, I think we got good odds on this one. Famous last words. And now we get to move on to round number 4, and if I was smart, I probably would have moved patches, but hey, hindsight is 50-50 when it comes to a retrospect, or hindsight is 20-20. Actually, I don't know why I said 50-50. Oh well, a little bit of confusion there. Hindsight's 20-20, so I should have moved them, but I didn't, and I'm not going to do any retconning because that's just not what I like to do. So the first thing that happens is Pickett is going to enter the initiative queue. He's going to come in on the top, and I need to figure out where I want him. He would have been best in slot number 1, and he doesn't get to do slot number 1, so he's going to take slot number 2, and hopefully this works out in my favor. So now we're going to come over to this level 1 baddie, which is going to be a ranged attacker. He's going to take initial slot number 1. He has 3 hit points. Not too bad at all. I'm not really worried about him, except for his engulf power, but I'll try to abuse that to the best of my abilities. He'll go to the bottom. Next one up is our surprise, which is going to be a... I swear I shuffled these. I swear I shuffled them. We have a Kobold Tracker, which is also a dragon style. He's hardy, which means he's only going to take 1 point of damage per turn, and he also has the ability to compound, which means his damage is going to go up every single round. So actually, maybe I placed Pickett in the right spot. Anyways, he is going to be initiative number 2. He has 2 hit points, and he can be kind of a little bit of a fun little fighter to enemy to encounter, but he is, actually he's ranged also. Oh boy, this is getting exciting. And then finally, aha, we have our last, or our first troll. We have a troll. He has Careless. He has a 1 attack, 1 defense. He has 4 hit points, and he has Careless, which means when he rolls bones, he's going to start swinging. I think he hits himself, if I remember correctly. I'll look up Careless really quick. Careless says this unit takes true damage, so if I roll any bones, he's going to hit himself. So I need to roll lots and lots and lots of bones. So he is a melee, and he's going to go right there. And that is going to start round number 4 for us. We have 2 rounds to take out 3 guys, and I actually have a couple different options. I don't think this is going to look too darn painful or too troublesome yet. I think I still stand a chance. So the first thing that's going to happen is Pickett is going to activate, and we have 2 decks, and we have no defense because I rolled so terribly, and we have an annoying, hardy, compounding kobold that needs to die right now. So I will spend 1 dex. I have 3 decks left over. I will roll 2 defense, and I'll roll 1 attack die. Actually, do I really want to do that? He is going to be, he's not going to be targeted by much, so I'm going to take that back, and we are going to hope we get our +1 damage. So 3 dice. Come on, dice, be in my favor for the first time today, and yes, they are in my favor. I'm going to do +1 damage as long as this is locked. Don't die, Pickett. Pickett, don't die. I believe that one locks. Does that one lock, if I remember correctly? I do believe, yep, it locks. So constant damage. So I have 1 shield. I'm going to do 1 point of damage. Unfortunately, Hardy is not going to help me here, but that's a-okay. I got exactly what I needed. That is actually really, really darn awesome. Let me double check something here really quick. Make sure I got something right. Total damage applied to your target lasts for entire adventure. Yep, so it doesn't do any true damage, so it's still only going to do 1 point of damage to him. So that is it. We are actually really, really happy. This is actually working in our favor. So, Patch's turn. Patches has 3 bones. I'm definitely going to be using those 3 bones. And is it against target or is it against anybody? Stick target for 2 damage. Target, target, target. So we will move up. First things first, we will heal 1 before we move up. And then it says stick our target. Now I want to get rid of him since he does engulf, and engulf can be extremely nasty because it's going to hit both of our heroes here, which I don't want to happen. Granted, it's only 1 point of damage and would do damage against him too, but I don't like those odds at all. So I have 3 dice, 2 now since I moved. Still have 1 defense. Actually, if I stab for 2 and I do 2 attack, nope, we're taking this guy out. I am going to take him out because that's what I need to do. So this is my target. I have 2 attack dice. I can't roll a defense. I don't need to heal. So we will just take this right here and hope the dice are in our favor. We will get 1 bones. Hey, maybe I'm going to level up. And then we will do 1 point of damage versus this dragon. Yeah, tough call. Yeah, 4 bones. Is that worth it? Fortune discovery. Acquire consumable die. Patches. Oh my gosh. Tough choices. Liquid life is so nice. Poison dart is so nice. Oh my gosh, poison dart could help in so many later adventures. Okay, common sense would tell me that I would take either E-cell or poison dart at this point. That would be the smart thing to do. That'd be the really, really smart strategy to do, but I'm more worried about time on this video at this point. So I'm going to cash in 3 of my bones, which is not the smart thing to do 2 points of damage versus this guy, just to take him out, because again, I'm worried about the time frame here. He is going to be defeated. We will move him to the board, and he does not get a chance to act. He is done. That is it for both of our heroes. We now get to go on to this guy right here. It's going to be really, really nasty, and he's about to do 4 points of damage. Oh my gosh, if only I could have took him out. So he's going to go after whoever has the least hit points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So guess who gets hit? Medic is going to get hit for 4 attack dice. We're in round number 4. Yeah, this is going to be extra fun. And we'll get only 4 points of damage, so we'll lose 1 defense, and then we'll take 1, 2, 3 points of damage. Not dead yet. And now we get to move over to this guy who gets to do his careless action. So he gets 1 attack. We know he's attacking me. Well, that's actually really good. So he'll get 1 defense, and he'll also club himself 1 time. So that is nice about careless. And then we are now on round number 5. We'll start round number 5. And things are actually looking pretty decent. Okay, so first things first, you get to attack. You are going, let's see here, you have that. Let's do this right. So let's do 1. We'll do 2 attack dice, and then we'll do 1 defense dice. Because I have a total of 4 dice I can roll since I'm not moving. Let's hope we get a good luck going on. Actually, do I? What can he do with 1 bone? Nothing, right? He's not good with 1 bone. Nope. I can go for the shield bash. Nope, not going to do it. I'd rather roll it again at a later date, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll get 1 defense, and then we'll do 2 points damage. Luckily, it only does 1, but we are okay. This one is going to be removed and defeated. And that is it for Pickett. Now, Patches gets to go. We will heal 1. And then we will 1. Let's say we have 3 decks. Tough call. Do I go for the all-out attack and a defense, or do I roll the heal? Ooh, I think I'm not going to risk it. I don't really want to die. I mean, he can only roll 1 attack die, so... Well, he can only roll 1 attack die, so I think I'm going to save the med kit. Because I'm going to rest up anyways. Yeah, I'm going to rest up. I think it was a better decision. No, it was not the better decision. Oh my gosh, the dice are not in my favor today. So, we will do 1 point of damage. That will remove that. I think we can poke him though, right? We will needle jab him. He will take 2 points of damage. That was actually worth it. And then he is going to attack us back. He rolls 1 attack, 1 defense, targets Pickett, and he'll get 1 defense. Pickett will take 1 more point of damage. Boy, Pickett is just being our tank today. Round number 6, a fatigue round. So at the start of the fatigue round, 1 point of damage, that will defeat him. 1 point of damage will survive, 1 point of damage will survive, and all of our heroes will survive this encounter. Now we get to go on to the reward phase, so our heroes are going to be rewarded for their battle, and then we're going to decide if we are going to do anything else that we need to do. This die stays locked, all of our dice are returned, we have refreshed everything. Luckily that one stays locked, which is going to be very, very nice for heroes, which will help us out quite a bit. Do this very, very quickly, and then we will be ready for the new round to start, or the new day to start. So during the recovery phase, or actually we gotta do a reward, so the first thing we're gonna do is each one of our heroes gets loot. Loot over here. Spirits of the Ebb, single use. On a baddie's turn, prevent the application of 1 effect die to your Gearloc. That's great versus mobs that can poison. That's always very, very awesome. For patches, we will get the Fortunate Discovery single use. We will use that right now, and we are going to take Poison Dart. Actually, E-Cell would probably be better, but we haven't leveled up to that point yet. So we will take Poison Dart, and Poison Dart is really, really nice. I do believe we have to roll for that one, though, if I don't remember correctly, or does it come in? I forget. Poison Dart, I do believe, oh, we roll when we use it. So, or we don't, but does it count down? No, we actually roll it. Okay. 3. Poison Dart goes right there, and we have 3 uses of that. So, we have done the loot phase, and now we get to see if we, or I'm sorry, I keep forgetting, we got to get the rest of our rewards here. So we are going to get a skill up. We will start with patches with our first skill up, and we are going to go for defense. We will roll 2 defense dice, and we'll get a bone. We get to re-roll it. We'll get a bone again, so he is not going to raise his defense. So we will decide to raise his dexterity. Then with our second skill up, we are going to go for defense again. And we'll get bones. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes. Okay, our defense is now level 3, so that's good. I'm happy I can take that result. That's a good result. And now we will come over to Patches, who gets 2 level up. The first thing we are going to take is we're going to take Bone Saw, because we knew that's what we were working towards. We will take the Bone Saw. And then we are going to go for defense, because we see that we are getting hammered on. We have to re-roll that again. We will succeed, and we will get 1 level up on defense. Now we're at level 2. That is all the level up for our heroes. We now have 4 points towards our progress on our days. That means we're almost at the point where we confront Nom. But let's go ahead and go to the recovery phase for all of our heroes. The first thing we're going to do is we can decide if we are going to trade loot. We don't want to trade any loot for our heroes. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to attempt a lock picking. Let's go ahead and go back to picking this lock right here. So we got lock, 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 reroll. That's not going to quite do it. So let's see. We need trip. We got 2, 3, 3 trip. Ooh, we may have actually been able to do this. So this is actually going to do it for us. We need 6 trip. This will be 3 of our trip. This will allow us to convert that to 3 additional trips. So we unlocked level 2 of this. So now we just need 1 force on this die that has a 1 in 6 chance of getting it. Oh, great. Possible, not impossible. We can possibly do this. And we'll get 1 trip. We can use this anything we want. We will get the 1 force, and we will reveal this magic item for us. We will get the Hunter's Body Count necklace, which is a permanent, which is really, really nice. The next baddie you defeat, deal killing blow, goes on top of this card. Each future non-tyrant baddie you defeat of this same type also gets placed on this card. Roll 1 additional attack die for each baddie on this card when attacking the same baddie. Its type is heavy. Encounters that require you to search for defeated stack may pull from the stack if needed. Use D6 to show replace baddies. That is really, really nice. So we can only carry a total of 4 items at this point because of what's going on with the fact that that's heavy. So we need to lose one of these. I like the ability to not be poisoned. We will get rid of this card right here, and then we will come back over to Patches, who gets to see if he can pick the lock on this Trove Loot right here. So we need 5 lever. We will get 4 lever. This allows us to treat anyone as another lever, so that will give us a total of 5 lever. We have at least level 1 of this done. We don't have any more dice to roll. That is it for the trap part of our turn for all of our heroes. So the next thing we get to do is we need to see if we are going to either rest, search, or scout. Well, rest over here is an obvious thing because we only have 1 hit point left. So let's go ahead and gain 5 more hit points. That puts us at a total of 6. So we will rest right there. And then we over here have 2. He's only down 1 hit point. So he could actually scout or he can search for better loot. I don't have the ability to remove any status effects yet, so I don't want to get rid of that. So I think we're just going to scout ahead. We're going to roll and we will get a 6. We are going to be on day 5, which will be 10, so we're not near the 20-point baddie. So we will check a level 5 baddie, and we are going to get a Troll Enforcer. Thick skin and taunt, 3 attack, 2 defense, 5 hit points, only 2 initiative. We'll leave him on top. That is actually not too darn terrible. That is it for this day, and I think that's actually going to be it for this video. I think you've seen enough gameplay to get an idea of exactly how this game plays. We're about to enter day number 5. We have a total of 4 progress points. We only need 2 more before we confront Nam, and I think there's a good chance we can do this because we have up to 8 days. We have 4 whole more days to get this, to get 2 more progress points and get into Nam, so I don't think it's going to be a challenge for us to get there at all. But I am seeing that this video is starting to run long, so we're going to go ahead and end this right here. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I'll be sure to get to them as quickly as I can. You can also feel free to email me at offtheshelfboardgamereviews. That's OTSBGR@gmail.com. I'll be sure to answer your questions as quickly as possible. If you like this video, series, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching.